everybody. I'm here. Hi. This is Dr. Fang-Mei from Tiffin University. Welcome to the lecture of Intro to Counseling. I'm making this video mainly is for Tiffin University students. They are taking my class, Intro to Counseling class, okay? Now, because the coronavirus, so we were not able to meet in the class. Now, that's why I produced this video. Well, I have been tried different places. I said before, this time I tried to stand up and then do the lecture and see is that working, okay? So in this slide, you can see, and I put this way, I'm not sure you can see the words clearly, but at least, you know, you can see who am I in terms of the PowerPoint, okay? So now in here, you can see the words here. You can see the two pictures I put there, right? What they tell you. The sentence there say what? Say the Gestalt therapy is change paper people to a real people. What's that mean? Paper people to the real people, right? So when we are working with a client and then we teach them the stuff and then we ask them to try, and a lot of time it's kind of like paperwork, right? It sounds good in paper, right? It sounds good when you think about it, but is it really happen, right? So that's why Pearl say, you know, in order to make them work, we need for them to really experience the life, okay? So help them to, they are not our puppet, right? We are not just play them, right? Actually, we need to make them really able to experience, you know, and then, you know, get the feeling of that, right? So that's why they make the paper people to the real people. And also, let's say, don't just have them talk. You know, you need to have them stand up and then do something. That's why I kind of like to demonstrate that I'm from, you know, in other part, I'm sit down now, I'm trying to stand up and see I can become a real people, right? Okay, so the next I talk about how do we do that? What's the goal for the counselor? What's the goal for the counselor, right? Okay, the first one we say we need to help them to focus on here and now. Here and now, okay? So remember when I demonstrate the walk between the, let me see, you can see here. Last time we say, you know, the anxiety is between now and the future, right? And because sometimes all the past and future, and then we work like this, right? And it's very ugly, right? So to help them to become a real people, then you have them to focus on right now, okay? Because right now, you can change. You only change, they say the power is present, right? The power is now. Now you can change. For example, I can decide not recording this or recording this, but then if I record later, I come back and say, oh, I should not record, but I already record. Of course, you can delete, but it's me, you already did something, right? So now is a power. Power is now, okay? So the first thing, as a counselor, you need to help your client to focus on now, okay? The secondly, you need to help them to increase their self-awareness. Self-awareness. And one thing you can even do, you know, you have them aware, look around where they are, okay? And when I'm in the classroom setting, I even ask students, where did you sit? Are you sitting in the middle of the classroom or center of the classroom, or you are sitting the back, or you sit the front? And where did you sit? You know, how do you feel about sitting, right? Or how do you feel when your hand like this? How do you feel? So that is mean awareness. So increase their awareness, okay? The third thing is help them to achieve self-actualization. And do you know what that means? Help them to know who they are. Help them to know who they are, and then go from their potential, and then help them to be awareness, their potential, and then, of course, help them work onto the goal and get to the place that grow, become who they are. Remember, we say we don't change people, because if you don't change people, if you try to change people, they more likely remain, right? We say that's the paradoxical theory of change, right? The more you want to change the people different from them, the more they are remain, okay? So 3 things, and you can see the PowerPoint. So first thing, help them focus on here and now. The secondly, help them to increase their self-awareness. And the third is help them to become self-actualization. That sounds good? Okay. Now let's look at the next one. Okay. So for next one, it's important we say the goal. Okay, let me double check. Okay, the goal here, the first goal is to help them focus on here and now. So here we talk about what? Power is present, right? Power is present, right? It's very important for them to aware that. Okay, a lot of time people spend a lot of time to complain about past. Well, they cannot do anything about past, and you cannot help them to change the past. Only thing you can help them to decide and to do something is now. Okay, so help them to aware power is in the present. Okay, so that have an equal sign there. Did you see that? Now equal experience, equal awareness, and equal reality. Now equal experience, equal awareness, and equal reality. Okay, so if you want to experience now, if you want to focus on now, then you really need to put all your awareness to experience them, right? And then you also need to aware what's going on, and then knowing everything you are experiencing right now is real. It's real, okay? And so one thing is important when you are help them to focus on now is how do you ask question? How do you ask question? Okay, now a lot of time when we work with clients, we like to ask why? Why? Well, think about when you ask why, what the response going to be. They will have to come out a lot of excuse to respond your why questions. Okay, so Pearl think this not a good idea to ask question in this way. Okay, because you only make them try to find more excuse because they need to answer your why. Okay, so if you don't ask why, then how can you ask? Well, in your PowerPoint, they say ask what? How? And ask what? Okay, ask how and ask what? Okay, because if you ask how, then, okay, here, okay. So if you ask how, then they have to describe, okay? And then you ask what, then they tell you what happened, right? And don't you think that's more real than they just try to give you excuse, right? So if student now come to class, and then next time they come, I may ask, why you are not here last time? Well, they will say, well, I don't feel like it, or I'm just sick. Okay, so sick is an excuse, or of course there may be a reason, but then you say, how's everything? What's going on? They will say, oh, I have a fever, I'm not able to handle, I even cannot get up. So they can describe, and they actually make they're more aware of what's going on in their life, rather than just try to find an excuse for you. Okay, that makes sense. So that is the first goal, is to help them to focus on here and now by ask what kind of question, how and what, right? Okay, now let's go to our second slide. Okay, our second slide here say help client increase the client their self-awareness about their potential, okay, and also to understand what is their potential. Okay, so how do you do that? Okay, here I put here say awareness is the experience of right now. Awareness is experience of right now. Okay, so what? Hopefully you can see this red line here. At this moment, the sum of everything you experience and perceive is reality, which is the Gestalt. Okay, tell your client everything they are experiencing right now is real. It's real. Okay, and then we call that it's Gestalt. Okay, it's real, it's Gestalt. Okay, and so if you can fully experience, then you can really know what's going on. Okay, now in here, okay, you can also see for Gestalt actually also believe even in the bad moment, there is a turning moment. Okay, remember earlier we said if people want to change, they have to able to bear the growing pain, right? Because changing is not easy, but they can be a turning point. They can be a turning point for you to develop your potential, right? If our life is so easy, then you don't need to have any new talent. You don't need to have any new ability. So for example, if we don't have this coronavirus, why I need to learn how to make this YouTube video? I can just go to class and you sit there and can just lecture, right? But now this coming, how do we respond? Of course, I can just give student PPT, but then I know that's my job to make you enjoy the class more. So that's why I make this YouTube. Hopefully you find it helpful. Okay, but anyway, if you find helpful, actually you can subscribe my YouTube. Okay, so then that means if I produce a video, then they will notify you and you will know right away, right? But anyway, you don't have to, but then if you want that, you can, subscribe my YouTube. Okay, so I think that's very important, and actually I really like it so much about this, okay, about turning point of your life. Okay, so when you encounter something, actually a lot of time when I see students struggle, I say what? Congratulations. Why? Because that is a chance for you to grow, right? For example, you fail class, okay? Then you maybe complain, you maybe cry. It's okay, you can complain, you can cry. But after that, what did you do? You tell yourself, I'm going to retake this class and I'm going to prove you wrong, professor. I will let you know I'm better than the F grade. I'm going to do better. And actually, because that, you maybe pull out your potential, and then also sometimes when you learn second time, you get better idea. And then who knows, you may get a very good grade and you can go and tell your professor, I got an A from this class for this subject, okay? So, don't you think that's important in our life? Take any chance. Remember, Franco said, live every life like you have been living the second time, okay? Looks like you have been living the first time is wrong. Now you are living for the second time. So what do you do for the second time? You want to do even better, right? Okay, so this is your second goal. Okay, how about the third goal? Okay, the third goal is help the client achieve self-actualization. Help your client achieve self-actualization. So what can we do for that? Okay, so how can we do for that? Okay, here say, to fulfill your self-actualization, actually you need to learn to able to support yourself. You need to learn to able to support yourself. Okay, what's that mean? Okay, think about the baby. Think about the baby. When baby in mother's womb, do they need to do anything? No. They pretty much get external support from the mother, right? But when they come out from mother's womb, when they come to this earth, what the doctor do first? Right? Cut down the cord, right? So when they cut down the cord, they the baby what? The baby have to cry. So when baby cry, that show their lung is work. They start to breathe themselves, right? So did you see that if baby don't cry, what doctor need to do? Like hold them, and then I heard that, I don't know the truth, hit them and then make them cry. So when they cry, everybody release. Now they can support themselves, right? And same thing for our life, right? A lot of time, we don't know what we can do, so we rely on other people to help us. But once you able to find your own strengths, your own potential, and you are able to do things by yourself, you are take the first step to grow, to go to become self-actualization. Okay, so it's important to help client to find their self potential and then become self-support. That makes sense? Okay. Then here, talk about, again, when you are doing this, can be impasse. Okay, the words IMPASSE, yeah, that means they stuck. Okay, just like the baby when doctor cut their cord, some baby don't cry, or they just the medical term called blue baby, say they not able to breathe. Okay, so in that moment, the doctor had to hit their butt, and then when they cry, they start to able to support themselves. Okay, in our life also, we may have that moment. I think, many of you, when you're in college, you move from home to school, right? And you need to start to pay your bill. You need to start to do a lot of things your own, right? And you may have a difficult time in the beginning, right? But when you start to able to find your own strengths, find your own ability, then you will become self-sufficient, right? And that's also important for you to become, to work, to grow, to become self-actualization. Okay. Okay, so that's here. Okay, so then what can we do? What can we do as a counselor? How do you help your client to, okay, 3 goals, remember what's 3 goals? Here and now, right? Focus on here and now, right? And then increase their self-awareness, right? And then what? Toward self-actualization. Okay, did you repeat after me? 1 is what? Here and now. Secondly is what? Increase their self-awareness. And the third one is what? To become self-actualization. Right? Got it? Okay, so how do we help them? Okay, so you can see these pictures there. Okay, so that show the relationship between counselor and client. You hold the hand. Okay, that means work together. Okay, so treat the client as a partner in the counseling process. Treat the client as a partner in the counseling process, okay? Because what? Because in the Gestalt therapy, we believe client is the expert of their life, okay? So then they also the expert of their problem, right? Because a lot of them have been struggle for this. They kind of know how to handle that, and now they just get to the point they don't know what to do. That's why they come to you. But also they know what's a symptom there. So you have to respect them. You have to listen to them, and tell them, I'm expert in this counseling theory and skill, but you are expert your life and your problem. So let's work together. Okay, so that is the first thing. Make sure this whole hand on hand. That means treat them and respect them as their expert of their problem and their life, and we work together, collaborate. We are not teach them, we are work with them, okay? The next one, how about this one? What's the finger about? What's the finger about? Okay, now we want to pay attention to their nonverbal language. Okay, so the reason I use the finger, so sometimes when people use it, that's part of body language. And when they are doing this, what's that mean? What's that mean? Okay, are they blame other people, or are they say something, right? So pay attention for their nonverbal language. Remember, that's what also the Pearl's his expertise, right? He's very good in observe people's body language. And remember, that's where he done that from middle school. Remember, he got a teacher called Max Reinhardt, right? And then he required him or all the students to learn how to observe the body language. And so you can see this part of theory also come from that part of the learning from his life, okay? So so you can ask, you know, when client have somebody, for example, if they stand like this, right? And then mean what? Maybe they mean, I don't want to talk to people, I'm just so shy, right? And then if they open like this, there be maybe more confidence, right? So watch their body language. They maybe tell you something. For example, they say, okay. Then you say, no, your body language tell me you are not okay. Or they say, I'm not okay, but then they are smile, right? And you say, well, you say you're not okay, but I see you smile. What's going on there, right? Okay, so the next one actually, okay, so then I give you the words here, okay, the words here. Okay, the next one, okay, now, when we do the counseling, they have a term called confrontation. Confrontation, okay? Quite often, we believe that's not good, okay? But actually, Gestalt here say confrontation, if you use wisely, it's not bad. It's not bad, okay? So for example, if students say, well, I really want to get A from your class, but the students seldom come to a class. Maybe I can say, well, I heard you say you like to get A from the class, but I didn't see you come to class that often. What's going on here? You know, what's going on here? So that's called confrontation, okay? To point out the difference between what they say and then what they want, or between what they say and then what they behave. Okay, as example, I point out before, right? They stand like this and they say, you know, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, right? But then the bodies tell you they are not fine, right? So it's important to use this kind of confrontation wisely to help them pay attention, right? So then if they say you are fine and then their body here, you maybe say, well, let's see how do we make your body looks like you are fine. You know, I help clients to release their body, release their tension, and they will get to a point and say, okay, I'm fine now. And say, okay, now I believe you. Because the body you you have right now is same as whatever you just said. Okay, so that is the when we say use your confrontation wisely. Okay, you know, we are the counselor. We have the power to put people down, but we also have the power to pull people up. So which one you want to use? Okay, you can use a confrontation to make people very uncomfortable and they don't want to come to see you again. Or you can use confrontation wisely and make them aware. They even appreciate you, right? Okay. Now, since we say the nonverbal is important, but same time verbal also important. Okay. So for this one, there were a couple slides for this. It's talk about how do we pay attention for inappropriate verbal language. Inappropriate verbal language. That means whatever they say, are they appropriate? Because if you don't use the right language, they can pull you down. Okay. Remember in your last feedback, remember we talk about you can say I want, but I can't, right? Because, right? I want, but I cannot because. So you find an excuse. And then my homework, my feedback asks you to respond is you change to I want, I will, and inspired of, right? I want, I will, inspired of. And the same idea there, you know, Pearls also believe, you know, inappropriate language actually it's not healthy for client. Okay, so first thing here is if people use it, okay, or that, then we may want to them to change to I, okay, or for example, you are listening to my lecture, you say, it's so boring, it's so boring. And we can say, do you mean I am boring? I am boring, right? It's I, it's not it, right? It's not it, right? Okay, you can say, it made me feel boring. It's okay, you bring to you. Okay, so tell exactly what you feel, but it's start from you. Okay, so then when they say they will start to aware about their real feeling, because when you say it, when you say that, you don't need to take responsibility, you just say it. But if you have them back to I, they will kind of say, oh, actually it's not really that boring, right? So you have to start to ask your heart, do you really aware that? Okay, so that's first one. Change their it and that back to I. Okay. The second one here, okay, is to ask them to use you. If they use you instead of I, then you want them to change back to I. Okay, because when sometimes people very easy to blame other people, they say you, right? And then you can ask them to change the words. For example, if people say that's really annoying and you make me, you know, that's your fault, it's annoying, okay? You can have them change to I'm struggling with this matter. I'm struggling with matter. So change it back to I so they can express what is the meaning really behind the complaining, right? Okay, so first one, change it and that to I, okay? The secondly, if they use you rather than I, then that's we call inappropriate. So we encourage them to change back to I, okay? The next one, okay, the next one here, if they keep asking question instead of statement, that is inappropriate, okay? Remember we say in order for them to focus right here and now, we don't ask them why. right? We ask them about what? Everybody remember? How and what. Okay, now the same thing here. A lot of time, client may say, why you need to ask me to do this? It's so boring. I don't want that. Why? So if they do this, that means they don't want to take responsibility. They just kind of like, well, why you do this? So they kind of like push them out, right? So if you ask them become statement rather than ask question, say, do we have to do this, right? So the statement will say, I want to know if this is required. Okay, so then when they say, I want to know if this is required, that is statement, right? And if you say, do we have to do this? That is questions, okay? So when you ask them to change from question to statement, again, they have to take more responsibility, right? So they may have to think about it, and then when they're really able to finally to make them statement, they will kind of feel, okay, now I know what that means. And then if they say, I'm going to take responsibility for this, then now your client is growing. Okay, so that is very good. Okay, the next one here is about self-denied language. Self-denied language. And this, I think we maybe talked about before, a similar idea here. So you say, well, the one we just say, I want, but I cannot because, right? That I cannot because, then they pull yourself down, right? If you say, I want and I will, in spite of, they pull yourself up, right? So self-denied language like this. So if you say, I cannot, then as a counselor, you want to clarify, it means you don't want or you cannot, right? You say, I cannot get there. Well, do you have feet? Can you walk? So if you can walk, that means, of course, you can do it. You just don't want to do it. Is that true, right? So it's important for them to aware if they use self-denied language. That's inappropriate, okay? And also here, also mention about a lot of self-denied words like I guess, maybe, right? Yes, but this also self-denied language, and it's very important. You, as a counselor, you want to point out so your client know what's going on. Okay. The next one here, talk about the voice hiding in the metaphor. Okay, the voice hiding behind the metaphor. Okay, so example in this slide say, in this respect, I eat more salt than he ate rice. Okay, actually a lot of, I don't know, people here say that by Asian, well, people say, that means I have more experience. Even salt, we don't eat much salt, right? And in Asian, people eat a lot of rice. And people say, I eat more salt than you eat rice. That means I have more experience than you. So then when people say that, you kind of say, do you think they don't respect your expertise? Right? They say, yeah, right? So it's important. Sometimes people like to use the metaphor to express something. Like one example I learned from book is say, I build the wall around me. I lock myself, but I don't know who is the key. I build a wall around myself. I lock door. Now I don't know who is the key. And what's that mean? What's that mean, right? That means they don't know how to find themselves. They lost themselves, right? So when you hear this, you can say, is that all it mean what? You are losing the content with other people and you run away right now. You don't want to open yourself, but you don't know how, right? So make them into the way that you can help, you can work with them to find the strategy, right? So sometimes metaphor is good, but you have to listen what they what they try to express. Okay, okay, let's look at the next one. Okay, the next one, detect the words linger between his or her lips. Okay, so they kind of like, they mumble something. You say, what? You say, oh, nothing. Oh, nothing. Well, maybe something. So you say, I think you have something you want to say, right? And they say, oh, yeah, right? So then just be careful, something reading between the line, between your lips, and just something you just have to be aware. Remember, you know, we talk about awareness. So as a Gestalt therapist, you need to have a very very sensible detection, I would say, sense, so you can hear something. Okay, so now there are a couple strategy here, but again, before we talk about the strategy here, Gestalt mentioned, even they are going to tell you something you can do, but they are not exercise-oriented school. Okay, not exercise-oriented school. Everything they provide here, it just means there's some tool you can try. And then if you want to try, you can ask clients, say, hey, I know some strategy, maybe do you want to try with me? Right? For example, the empty chair we talked about before, you say, I'm going to pull the chair and then have you switch the chair. Are you willing to practice with me? Right? And they say, I don't know it's going to work, but then can we try it, right? So it's experiment. Okay, so that is very important concept here, okay? It's focus on experiment-oriented counseling strategy rather than say they are exercise-oriented counseling. Okay, so the first one here, okay, it's called dialogue between top dog and low, and then underdog. Okay, so they believe in our hand. Usually, you have client use your two hands. One is represent the strong part of yourself. Another one represent the weak part of yourself. Okay, we all have two parts, right? And the strong part will say, we can do this. Let's fight for it. And your low part will say, no, we cannot do it. Every time we try, we will fail. We never get there. This part will say, no, remember, we have a couple times actually we pull us through. We are pretty good. And this one said, yeah, but you know, this one is negative, right? So then you have your two hands, you have asked your two hands to dialogue. Okay, so I want you to kind of practice a little bit right now. Okay, so what's your this hand? What's your strong hand? Tell yourself. Tell yourself. What do you say? What do you say? Okay, I can hear you say. Okay, you say, well, this class, I believe we can get A. And this class said, no, I don't think so. Well, I think if we keep working hard for our homework, we can get good grade. This one said, are you sure? And this one said, yeah, let's keep trying. And then hopefully by doing badly, they start to say, okay, let's work together. Okay. And when I do this exercise, sometimes I have students talk to themselves. Okay, one part will say, let's do our homework on time. And this one said, but it's so many, I want to go to sleep. This one said, well, we can work hard and then go to sleep. Are you sure? Promise we can sleep? Yeah, if we finish this one, then we can sleep for 2 hours. How about that? This one, okay. So then when they talk together, they can come up a good idea. Okay, so you can use your hand or you can use the chair. We talk about the two chairs. One is represent the strong you, one is present the weak you, and you can switch different chair and to get to understand each other point of view. Actually, they help the client to aware where they are. So actually, it's very powerful when you have them play different side of them, and they will come out a good integration. Okay, so that is called dialogue between top dog and the dog. Is it fun? I like this one. Hopefully you like too. Okay, The next one will be the one I keep talking about, called empty chair. Empty chair, okay? And I did some step, you know, you can do it when you have chance, but mainly is you have people switch the chair, okay? Switch themselves into chair, or you can just talk to the chair. Okay, so everybody, I want you to think about an issue that, for example, you really have to tell your parents about something, but you're never able to put yourself there because it's just so scared, right? Then treat the chair as your parent and talk to the chair, right? And then when you are comfortable enough, you can go to your parents and talk to them. Okay. One time I have a student, he told me something very sad in his life. He never see his biological father, and one time finally his father called him when he already in college, and they set up they are going to meet a week after that. You know what happened? Before they are meeting, he got a phone call. His biological father commit suicide. He is very sad. So in our counseling section, actually I have the father have him think the chair is his biological father. So I have him talk to his father, share his disappointment feelings. And then when I have him switch to his father to the empty chair, he tell him based on his father's point of view. So the father told him, apologize, I really want to see you, but I worry if I see you, you are going to disappoint to see you have father like this. And then he come back to say, I don't care, you are my father, I really want to see you. And change the father say, I really want to see you too. Hopefully we have chance in the future. And then he come back, and then, you know, I have him say goodbye to the father, and I have the father say goodbye to him. So actually after the exercise, he told me, he thanks me. He said that exercise helped him have chance to talk to his father. Okay, so I think that's very powerful, especially for something you may never have chance. You may not have chance. Then empty chair actually can help people express their feelings and then also get to know another side of the story. Okay? That sounds good? Okay. The next one here, okay, hopefully you can see these words there. Exaggeration exercise, okay? That also what Gestalt do. Remember he said to increase self-awareness, right? And sometimes it's hard to increase self-awareness if your movement is too soft, right? So you have them like exaggerate. For example, if they are, we say they stand like this, right? Have them shake them more. They exaggerate, right? And then your client will say, can I go? It's too tight now, okay? Release. Okay, so originally they just kind of like stress, right? So then they just say, I'm stressful. But when you have them really get so tight, then they start realizing, actually they are not that stressful. And they will say, okay, now I know I'm not as stressful. I just feel a little bit stressed, okay? Or if client, they want to say, okay, I'm going to do this. I promise I'm going to do it. Okay, so they will say, can you say louder? I promise. Okay, you say louder. And you say, no, I'm not really that level yet. I maybe promise. Okay, I'm going to try. Okay. Or if you let them say it and they can say very loud, they say, yes, that's what my compliment. So you use an exaggeration, make them aware their level of the emotion or their level of strength or level of commitment. And then they are more likely able to take responsibility and promise match with what level they are. okay? And also help them to really understand their really feeling. And so exaggeration actually is a very good way to help people to increase their self-awareness. That sounds good? Okay. What do we have next one? Okay. The next one is called stay with the feelings. Stay with feelings, okay? They're also similar to the exaggerate, right? So a lot of time, we encourage them to let it go. But here say, don't just ask them let it go because they are not fully experienced that yet. So have them stay the feeling. They are say, I'm very sad. Okay, now stay the sad feeling and fully experience, okay? Or they say, I'm so happy. Okay, then experience your happiness, okay? And actually that's what I like to do when I'm so happy. I always want to experience that happiness. What happened? If you never experience happiness, then next time when you are sad, you don't have energy. So if you are happy, then fully experience happy. And when you are sad, experience that, you know. So then you can say what the real experience. Remember, second-hand experience is not experience, right? So help your clients stay, okay? When they are crying, say it's okay to cry, and please also experience, feel how they feel, okay? And then when they are released, they know what's different, okay? That good? Okay? The next one is called practice and rehearsal exercise, okay? And of course, easy to say, sometimes it's hard to do, right? So if you have them practice, and then the chair actually is very good tool, okay? So you want to practice, for example, practice for this presentation, you can talk to the chair, right? Or you can just record yourself without post them, right? But the more you practice, the more you know how to do, okay? So Gestalt, remember, they say it's important to do it, but they not say everybody will be perfect right away. No, practice and practice and practice, okay? So that is strategy 5 and 6, okay? Now the next one is strategy 7, make the run, okay? So for this one, you can have people actually go to one by one, or you can just, they call it something called hard seat. So you have people stand in front of people and then give them the feedback. So you have people keep telling the people what volunteer, and have people tell them how they see the good part of them. Okay, how do I see the advantage of you? How do I see your strength, right? Don't use this for the negative part. Use this for the strength, not weakness, okay? And also encourage them to try, you know, to hear everybody, so they can walk around and then they cannot say anything. They just only receive the feedback, okay? And I think that's very powerful too. Hopefully after this lecture, I encourage you, you are home, go walk around your family member, ask them to tell you one thing about strengths, one thing they observe your strengths and tell you, okay? Sounds good? Promise me, do this. Or if you're a roommate, okay? Or if you're a dog, ask them to tell you. I don't know how they're going to tell you. But anyway, so this is a couple strategy that Gestalt suggests you counselor can use it, okay? Now, for the process to get through the counseling process for Gestalt, okay? The first one we call explore, okay? Explore what? Explore what? The client has new discovery an insight into the original situation, and will begin to look at people with some new perspective. Okay, so then because we start to teach them, right? Use empty chair, right? Use upper dog, underdog to talk, right? And then exaggerate, and then what? The stand the feeling and practice, rehearsal this, right? And so client may start to say, I know, I find, actually, I'm pretty brave. Actually, I find I can do it, right? So then first one for them to explore what do they have in that, within that, okay? They may not aware that before, okay? So that's first step. Then after that, it's called accommodation, okay? And accommodation, that means now they have to change, right? Because if you want to do something different than your original way, then you have to change, right? And so, of course, have them do the practice, have them do the rehearsal, have them feel okay. So actually, you can have them practice in your counseling session, okay? In your counseling session, because that's if your relationship with them is already established, then they feel good about them. They feel good about you. They feel safe. So then you say, okay, let's practice. And when you practice, also remind them they can be frustrated, okay? Because people may not see the change, okay? Even they try, people may not see it. And also knowing to do something different from your original way to do. It's hard. For example, some people, when they are depressed, the original just eat, right? Now we try to find a good way. So that means don't eat too much sweet and try to eat healthy food. They may say, I really miss the sweet stuff, right? So they have to change, and change is not easy. But if they can keep changing and keep practice, and then they keep find the new insight about themselves, then actually their life will get to more healthy way, right? Okay, so then the third step is assimilation, right? So if they can start to find, try something new, right? And then they will more confidence and skill. And then since they find a lot of, they already practice a lot of behavior or action, now they can assimilate this action to the environment. And they may gradually find actually not that much different, right? Originally they feel like they are so different than other people, but after they practice, after they find the confidence on themselves, they may start to say, life is not that hard. So they start to able to assimilate to the new environment, and then they will feel everything get to easier and easier and easier. Okay, so 3 steps here. One is what? Exploring, and then accommodation, and then assimilation. Okay, that makes sense? We're almost done. Okay, so the last one here from Pearls. Okay, he said, the cell is various. It manifests differently in different situations. According to the environmental stimuli, it is always changed. Do you believe so? So you are changed every day. We are changed every day. And also we are changed because we are in different environment, right? So it's okay, and that's why, remember when in Pearl's funeral, the friend say, we don't really know where to find you, right? So yeah, so that's him, and this is the Gestalt therapy. Do you like it? I really like this school, and this actually I use this as my master degree thesis when I still in Taiwan as master degree student. So I love this theory since long time ago. I still love it, and because it's so active. active. Remember, that's active approach. And that's why when I do this lecture, I have to stand up. Otherwise, I don't think I can do this action activity when I sit down, right? So, you know, if you find the life is hard, then stand up, walking around, and then do something. Talk to your chair, okay? And exaggerate. When you are happy, shout out loud, okay? Or you are so boring, then cry it. It's okay. And when, but don't make your family think you are crazy, okay? Just tell them that's for the class, okay? But anyway, hopefully you like this lecture, and this is the end of our lecture for Gestalt therapy. Okay, so make sure you go to the, if you are my student, go to the quiz, finish it. I think I put the due date is April 1st. Okay, so make sure you finish on time. And also there's assignment there for you to write a letter to the psychologist. Okay, so there's a couple things you have to do, and hopefully you enjoy it. Okay, so stay safe and stay healthy, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.